welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all good. I'm Leah for those of you who are new. So we have just finished our second house renovation project. I'll leave the house tour linked down below so you can check it out. But we really wanted to create like an industrial vibe for the property, and that's kind of what we want to do going forward as a brand. We want to stick with like an industrial theme. So I thought I'd come and just give you like a few tips and tricks on the things that we did to try and create like an industrial vibe. So I feel like the main thing for us that really helped us create the industrial theme was the different feature walls that we used in the property. So we had 3 different feature walls. We had red brick, white brick, and then we also had a concrete effect. And I feel like brick and concrete are like the most common things you see when it comes to like industrial design properties. So in terms of the brick walls, we did have a few people ask us if it was like the original exposed brick, and it wasn't. It was just brick slips. So brick slips is something that you just fit on the wall, and they kind of get fitted on like the same way you'd fit tiles, so it's kind of like a similar vibe, but it does give like a proper exposed brick look, but it's just tiles and no one would even know because they look so good. So that's what we did, and we got them from a company called Coochie Designs. So the red brick slips were in the style, I think it was like Knightsbury Red or something, and then the white brick slips, they were in a style called Rustic White, and then we painted them like a bright white, so they just looked like really clean and really modern. So yeah, but when it comes to brick slips, there's literally like so many different options. Like you can get dark brick slips that are more like grey and like nearly black, or you can get like different shades of red, and then obviously, like I said before, you can get white as well. So it really depends on your personal taste, and yeah, I think that worked really well for us because I feel like the white brick slips are more like low-key and a bit cleaner, a bit more modern, whereas the red brick slips are like really out there. So you can really like choose your brick slips depending on your personal taste. You don't just have to be like all high key with like red brick slips that look crazy. So yeah, but yeah, brick slips are definitely something that we're going to be using in the future, because when they first put the brick slips on, honestly everyone was so shocked because we were just like, oh my god, brick slips look so good, like they're just incredible and a perfect alternative if you don't have any exposed brick. Another cheaper alternative, which personally, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really a fan of, but a cheaper alternative is using wallpaper. Like you can get loads of different colors of wallpaper that basically just has like a brick pattern on it. Personally, I've just never really been a fan of wallpaper itself, so I wouldn't do it, and I feel like it doesn't give the same vibe, whereas with brick slips, like you'd never know that it wasn't like original brick. So yeah, I'm not really a fan of wallpaper, but that is an option, each to their own. You can do what you want. So yeah, we had the white brick slips on the ground floor, so we had it in 2 of the bedrooms, and then also in the kitchen we had it like going along one of the kitchen walls, and it looked so good with like the black kitchen that we had. And then we had the red brick slips on the middle floor of the property, and that was in 3 of the bedrooms, but literally they just looked so good. So as I said before, we also use concrete as a feature wall, and I feel like when you're doing an industrial theme, having concrete is like key. Like concrete is just so beautiful when it comes to industrial themes, and I feel like nowadays you can get things like concrete tiles, concrete home decor, concrete paint and things like that. So definitely bring concrete in where you can. So like I said before, we went for concrete effect walls, and this was literally just a paint from a company called Craig and Rose, and it gives the most beautiful concrete effect ever. They have 3 different types of concrete effect paint, and we went for the pale one, but then they do another one, I don't know what it's called, but it's like a little bit darker, and then they do another one that is like nearly black, which they look so cool, and I definitely want to use the more darker ones going forward in our projects. But this time we played it safe and we just went for the pale, and then our decorator like painted it with a trowel to give like more of a concrete effect, but literally it just looked so good. And it was definitely a really cheap way to bring in like a concrete vibe, because compared to brick slips, like the concrete effect paint is so cheap. So yeah, definitely highly recommend using concrete effect paint if that's the vibe you want to go for. So I think the second thing that worked really well for us in terms of creating the industrial theme was leaving the original features. So in most of the bedrooms they did have the original beams, so some of them were like a rustic brown colour, and then we had some of them that were black. I feel like creating an industrial theme is really about like exposing the original building materials, if that makes sense. So I feel like sticking with original features is so important, and I feel like when it's done properly, it's so nice to have like the original features as a focal point of inspiration, if that makes sense. So I know in one of our old properties that we used to have, that was like a very industrial theme, and in one of the bedrooms they had like the pipes like going throughout the bedroom, and it just looked so cool, so industrial. And in that property as well, actually, they did have like exposed brick, and it was just like so industrial, so cool. So yeah, literally loved it. So yeah, I'm definitely glad that we chose to keep some of the beams that we had in there, because they just looked so good, and yeah, gave it like an industrial vibe. So I think when creating an industrial theme, it's also really important to limit the use of colour. I don't know what it is, I just feel like colour just makes things look like a bit odd in industrial theme. I think it's okay to have like nudes and neutral colours, and even like green from leaves, I think that's fine, but I think if you do any other colours, it can look a little bit strange. There was one point where we were actually thinking about getting blue beds, like dark navy blue beds, but then we were like, nah, we feel like this doesn't really fit in with the industrial theme. Like, I feel like it would have made things look strange. We did use like little bits of mustard like here and there, but it really wasn't like that much where it was like, oh, this is like colourful, do you know what I mean? Like, we still kept things pretty neutral, and I feel like when you look at pictures on Pinterest, like they do usually keep it pretty neutral, pretty grey, nude, white, black. So yeah. For us, when it came to the artwork, we tended to go with more like minimal black and white and kind of like a neutral vibe. We did have some artwork that were like pictures of leaves, but I feel like they were still quite neutral, if that makes sense. So I feel like they did really fit with the theme. But yeah, I think when doing an industrial theme, you can't beat like black and white artwork in a black frame. I just think that looks so good. In my own house, I've just put up like a gallery wall, and everything is pretty much black and white with black frames, and it literally looks so good, and it would definitely look really good in like an industrial theme property. I just got all of the artwork from Desenio, and then obviously brought the frames from there as well, but I definitely feel like it creates a really nice industrial theme. And the thing that I really like about the prints that I got as well is it does have like really nice street photography, which I just think looks so cool. And I really like the architectural design that I got. It's like a sort of staircase thing, and I really think that looks so cool and would definitely fit in with an industrial theme. So yeah, I feel like a good tip when it comes to artwork is try and get like architectural pictures that are like in black and white, and they will look so cool. So I feel like when you search up industrial home decor, one thing that's really common and one thing that comes up a lot is like this rustic wood vibe, and we definitely incorporated this into our property. So we had like a ladder desk that was this like rustic wood, then we had an oak effect bed, our bedside tables also had like this rustic wood look. And I also feel like this was really key in making the place feel like a little bit more homely, because obviously we don't live there, it was actually for tenants, so we wanted the place to feel like warm and welcoming and inviting. So I feel like this was really key. And we also had rustic wood on some of the wardrobes as well. So yeah, that's where we like brought it in, and it just worked so well with the property. And it's also really cool because in the property, some of the original beams are like rustic wood, like they're just naturally like that. So it was really cool being able to tie it all together with some of the new features that we were using. So it did work really well. But yeah, there is so many different ways that you can use that rustic wood. Like we had some rustic wood shelves as well, which looked really cool. And yeah, there is just so many different ways that you can bring it in, and it does look so lovely. So one thing you'll notice is on a lot of the rustic wood furniture and things like that, they tend to use like black metal pieces as well to like go with it, and I feel like that is just industrial. Like most industrial furniture, I feel like when you're looking, you'll see that it's got like the rustic wood with like bits of black metal. So say for example on our ladder desk, like the actual desk itself was the rustic wood, but then the legs and things like that, they were like black metal. So I feel like that is definitely really common to see, and this worked really well for us because we were able to then tie in the black metal with other pieces. So say for example in the two downstairs bedrooms, they ended up having to have a different wardrobe to the other bedrooms, and they got like a black wardrobe. So the black on like the furniture pieces worked really well with the wardrobe. And then we also got as well a few other like black metal pieces. So we got like a few small black wire bikes that we'd put around the property as like little decor pieces, but this all like tied in really well with like the black metal vibe that is usually found on the furniture. We also had this like black wire bunny, which just gave like total industrial vibes. So yeah, I'd say that black is definitely going to be a key feature. Like I feel like when it comes to an industrial color palette, it's like black, white, grey, wood. I know that's not a colour, but you know what I mean. and then like nudes and neutrals. I feel like that is like the colour theme you should go for. So we actually made the decision to paint all of our doors black because we were like, this will really fit in well with the theme. And this obviously matched all like the black metal that was on the furniture and the black decor pieces that we got, and we also had like dark bathrooms and things like that. So that all kind of like tied in and worked really well together. So don't be afraid to use like bits of black here, there and everywhere. Like, I know that I personally love black, but like it might not be to your taste, but I feel like if you want to create an industrial theme, bringing bits of black in is really key. One thing that I really wish we could have done in the property is have black caged windows. I feel like this is really common with like loft style apartments where they have like caged black windows. I'll insert a picture so you can see what I'm talking about, but I feel like that looks so good, and I definitely wish that we could have done that with our property. It's kind of like this mirror here, how it's got like the caged effect on it. I actually did this as like a little DIY piece, but like I wish that we could have brought that into the property. So I feel like next time I definitely would love to at least put like a caged mirror in or something like that, because we won't always be able to change the windows out. So yeah, definitely we'll be adding like this little caged effect, because I think that is definitely so industrial, and I think it does make such a big difference, because I had this mirror for ages and it was just plain and it didn't have any of the grids on it, and then when I like added the grids to it, I was like, oh my god, that is like so industrial. So I feel like having bits of like black cages and things like that will really help you create an industrial theme. One thing that was also super industrial was the chairs that we were using. So the chairs that we were using in the bedroom, this is like in the style of a draftsman's chair. And I'm going to read it off my phone because I don't want to get it wrong. So a draftsman is historically referred to as an individual who prepares detailed technical drawings and plans under the directions of an architect or an engineer. So back in the day, they'd basically sit on what was called a draftsman's chair, and it was in the same style as the chairs that we got in the bedrooms. So super industrial. And ours were literally just from IKEA. So we got the ones that were brown and black, but I think they had some that were like all black. They did also have a red, which the woman was like trying to sell to us. We were like, no, this won't fit with the theme. Like, we can't have red. So yeah, we just went for the like brown and black, and they looked so good. Like, they definitely really fit in with the theme perfectly. I feel like another thing that's really important is getting like unique pieces. So like I said before, we had like the wire bikes, which were really cute. We also had this like chess, like horse head piece, which was like really cute as well. So I feel like sometimes it's about getting things that are like a little bit weird and a little bit wacky, and I feel like we didn't go there completely on this property, but like in the next one, I don't know what we might be putting in that property, but it's definitely going to be a bit unusual, a bit quirky, a bit different, because why not? I feel like that's what industrial themes are about, just being completely different. And I'd also say one thing that is really important is using plants. Now, I love plants anyway, so I'm kind of biased with this because yeah, I'm just obsessed with plants at the minute. I don't know why, I just love them. But I feel like when you use plants in an industrial theme, it does make the place look like a little bit more friendly. Like, sometimes I feel like industrial themes can be like quite harsh and quite like hard, if that makes sense, but I feel like if you get a plant, that kind of like softens it a little bit. So yeah, I highly recommend getting plants. This plant that we have here, you can see it like reflecting in the mirror. This is called like a Kentia palm or something like that. It's beautiful, it's not hard to keep alive, it's growing lovely. And then one of my other favorites is a monstera. This is like the Instagram plant, and that is super beautiful. Mine are really growing so nicely. So yeah, definitely highly recommend getting some plants to just like soften things a bit, you know, just soften it a little bit. So yeah. So guys, that was it for my industrial design interior tips. I hope this has helped you guys out. I do have like a full playlist of like industrial bedroom ideas, so I'll be sure to link that down below. But I hope this has helped you guys out. If there's anything that you're going to take on board, then please do let me know. I'd love to know. But thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and give this video a big thumbs up. But I'll see you next time. Bye.